Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're diving into something that I'm sure we've all experienced shopping for clothes online, right? Like, why is it so hard to find the right size?
Oh, absolutely. It's the bane of the fashion industry, this inconsistent sizing. And it's more than just anecdotal. You know, the data confirms it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're looking at a report by Prime AI.
Okay.
They're a company using AI to help retailers address this very issue.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they analyzed over 1 million online returns.
Wow, 1 million.
To figure out why people are sending clothes back, you know, and the research shows that inconsistent sizing is the #1 reason.
That makes sense, but do you have a sense of how many people are returning clothes for bad fit? Like, is it a significant number?
It's huge.
Really?
Yeah, 66% of UK shoppers return online clothing purchases because of a bad fit.
That's wild. Like, 2/3 of shoppers are returning clothes because they don't fit.
It really is, and it just highlights the scope of this whole problem, you
Right.
know. Prime AI is saying that the traditional sizing methods just aren't working anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that when I'm shopping online, it's like sizing roulette.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get, even if you think you know your size.
Right.
So I'm curious, what are some like concrete examples of this inconsistency that the report calls out?
Well, they looked at chest size ranges for a medium across several brands.
Okay.
For instance, a medium at Nike fits a chest size of 38 to 41 inches, but Zara's medium is a bit smaller at 39 to 40 and a half.
Okay.
And then if you look at Calvin Klein, their medium is even smaller at 37 to 38 inches.
So if you have like a 38-inch chest, you could be a small one brand
Exactly.
and a medium at another.
It's crazy, right?
That's so confusing. No wonder people are having issues.
Exactly. And this inconsistency isn't just between brands. You know,
Right.
Prime AI found it even exists within a single brand.
Wait, so even if you stick to one brand,
Yeah,
you still can't be sure of your size?
it's unfortunately true.
How is that even possible?
Well, even H&M, which, you know, a lot of people think of as like a go-to for basics,
Mm-hmm.
even they admit that they struggle with this size inconsistency.
Wow.
Their CEO has actually spoken about this issue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it seems that like no matter how much they try to improve, there are still these inconsistencies popping up.
Yeah. I mean, what causes these discrepancies within a single brand? I feel like they would have figured that out.
You'd think so, right? But there are actually a lot of variables at play.
Okay.
The fit can vary between different collections of clothing,
Okay.
different styles, like if it's slim fit versus relaxed fit,
Uh-huh.
and even color, believe it or not.
Well, color can actually affect how clothes fit.
It sounds surprising, but Prime AI found that variations in color can actually lead to subtle differences in the fit.
Interesting.
Yeah, because different fabric suppliers or treatments that they use for different colors can change how the material stretches and drapes.
Oh, that's interesting. So like a black shirt could fit differently than a white shirt?
Exactly. Even if it's the same brand, the same size, the same style.
Wow. Okay, so color is like a whole other factor to consider
It is, yeah. And this isn't just like a theory. The BBC did an investigation.
into this.
Yeah, into H&M sizing.
Right.
And a lot of customers were reporting huge discrepancies in the fit between trousers that were identical, you know,
Wow.
but different colors.
That's crazy. Okay, so then what about those fit finders that you see online? You know, those tools that some retailers use.
Oh, yeah.
Are they actually helpful at all with this whole sizing issue?
Well, Prime AI actually says that those traditional fit finders are part of the problem.
How can something that's supposed to help make things worse?
Well, it's because of how they work.
Okay.
So most fit finders rely on these like static brand-to-brand comparisons.
Right.
So you tell it, you know, what size you wear in one brand, and then it tries to match that to a corresponding size in another brand. But we've already talked about how brand sizing can vary so wildly.
Right.
So this approach just doesn't really work.
So those little widgets are kind of useless then.
A lot of times, yeah, Prime AI identifies 3 main reasons why they fail.
Okay, let's hear them.
So first, there's the inherent brand size variation that we talked about. Second, even within a brand, the fit's inconsistent across different items.
Right.
And third, a customer's perception of size can actually change things.
What do you mean by that?
So for example, someone who's used to a brand that runs large might automatically size down when they're shopping somewhere else.
Okay.
So that throws the whole system off.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if the traditional fit finders aren't working, what does Prime AI suggest we do about this whole sizing mess?
Well, they think that the future of fit is going to be in these AI-powered fit finders, which are different because they're predictive and they're constantly learning and adapting unlike those static models.
Okay.
They use real-time data from purchases, returns, garment measurements, and even individual body profiles.
Wow.
Yeah, to constantly refine their predictions.
That's amazing. So it's like having a personal stylist in your computer.
Right.
That understands your body and all the different brands.
Exactly. And this isn't just some theoretical concept,
Wow.
They've actually put this technology to the test, and it's showing really promising results.
Okay, I'd love to hear about a real-world example of how this AI fit prediction is actually working.
Sure. So let's look at Playful Promises.
Okay.
They're a lingerie retailer in the UK, and they were having these really high return rates because of this inconsistent sizing.
Yeah.
So they decided to try out Prime AI's fit recommendation system.
And what happened? Did it work?
Well, the results were pretty incredible. They saw a 28% reduction in returns.
Wow.
Especially for fitted items like bras. And on top of that, their conversion rates increased by 18%.
So more people were actually buying the items they put in their carts.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Fewer returns and more sales.
Yeah, total win-win.
It sounds like it. So it sounds like this AI system was able to account for those nuances that traditional methods miss, like you were talking about with the fabric and color differences.
That's right. It's a much more sophisticated approach.
So what exactly makes these AI-powered fit finders so different from what we're used to?
Well, they go way beyond those basic size recommendations,
Okay.
They actually analyze product dimensions on a super granular level.
Interesting.
So you're getting way more accurate information than you would from a standard size chart.
Yeah.
And they learn from your past purchases and returns.
Oh.
So the more you use them, the better they get at predicting your fit.
It's like it's building a custom profile.
Exactly.
For each person.
For each shopper. And these systems are constantly learning and improving in real time.
So every purchase and return is making it smarter.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, are there any other benefits to using AI-powered fit finders besides just finding the right size?
Oh, definitely. They're not just about eliminating sizing frustration, They're about making the whole shopping experience smoother and just more enjoyable overall.
I can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to shop online with confidence and knowing that you're not going to have to deal with returns.
Exactly.
That would be amazing.
That's the goal, right? To make online shopping way less stressful.
Totally. This has been a really fascinating look into the world of sizing and how AI could really revolutionize the way we shop.
It's really exciting stuff.
It is. Before we move on, I'd love to hear your overall thoughts on the implications of all this.
Well, I think we're just scratching the surface of what AI can do for fashion.
I think you're right.
Yeah, the ability to personalize the shopping experience to this degree could impact everything from design to manufacturing to sustainability even.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think about.
It is. It's a really exciting time to be following all this.
Definitely. So we'll be back in a moment to continue this deep dive into AI and fashion.
Sounds good. Yeah, it really is exciting to see Prime AI using technology to make a difference in an industry that's been so slow to change.
What strikes me is that this isn't just about making things better for the retailers. It's about improving the experience for shoppers.
I agree completely. For too long, the fashion industry has had this one-size-fits-all idea, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Everyone's body is different, and those generic size charts are just frustrating.
They are, and I think that's why this Prime AI approach is so revolutionary. They're not trying to force everyone into a mold.
Yeah.
They're actually using technology to celebrate individuality.
That's a great way to put it.
It's about empowering people to find clothes that make them feel good and look good.
Using data to make shopping more personal and more positive.
Right. It's like bespoke tailoring for everyone.
Exactly. AI is making that level of customization accessible to everyone, not just the people who can afford a personal stylist.
Right. It makes you wonder how this will change the way we shop for clothes in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think we'll see people shopping more online as these AI-powered tools become more common?
I think that's definitely a possibility. If you can shop online knowing that the clothes will fit, it takes away so much of the stress
Right.
and uncertainty of online shopping.
Imagine a world where you order clothes online and, with absolute certainty that they're going to fit when they arrive.
That's the dream, right? That's what AI-powered fit prediction is all about, taking the guesswork out and giving shoppers peace of mind.
And for the retailers, it means fewer returns, lower shipping costs, happier customers.
It's a win-win all around, and the brands that get on board with this technology early on,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be the ones who really connect with their customers.
Totally. Those are going to be the brands that really succeed in the future.
Absolutely. But we also have to remember that no technology is perfect.
Right.
Right?
Right.
As AI becomes more a part of the fashion industry, there are going to be some challenges.
I'm curious to hear what you think those might be. What are some of the challenges you see coming up as this technology develops?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is going to be data privacy. These AI systems need a lot of data to work properly.
Right. They need our measurements, our style preferences, our shopping habits.
Exactly. And these days, people are more and more aware of how their data is being used.
Oh, for sure.
So it's going to be super important for companies like Prime AI to be transparent about what they're doing with our data.
Right.
They need to explain how they're collecting it, storing it, using it, and they need to make user privacy a top priority.
I think that's a really important point. Transparency and ethical data handling are going to be essential for building trust.
100%. If people don't feel comfortable sharing their data, these systems are never going to reach their full potential.
Right. That makes sense. So data privacy is one big challenge.
Yeah.
Are there others we should be thinking about?
Yeah. Another challenge is inclusivity, making sure these AI systems are accessible to everyone.
Okay.
The fashion industry has a long history of leaving certain body types and sizes out of the conversation.
Right. We need to make sure those biases don't end up in the algorithms.
Exactly. These systems need to be trained on diverse data sets that represent the full range of human bodies. Otherwise, we're just creating a system that works for a small group of people, and that defeats the whole purpose.
Right. So inclusivity and diversity need to be built into this technology right from the start.
Absolutely. We can't just assume that technology will solve these problems automatically.
Yeah.
We need to be proactive about building systems that are fair and equitable for everyone.
I like that.
Oh.
It's a reminder that technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Yeah.
It depends on the people using it.
I agree completely. We need to think about the potential consequences and work to avoid any negative impacts right from the beginning.
It's about using technology responsibly and ethically.
Exactly. And in the fashion industry, which has such a huge influence on our culture and how we see ourselves, it's even more important to be careful and sensitive.
Absolutely. This has been a really insightful conversation.
It has.
We've talked about the technical side of AI and the broader impact on society.
It's been a really fascinating exploration, and I hope our listeners are starting to see just how much potential this technology has.
I hope so too. Before we get too carried away with the future, I think it's important to remember that even though AI is on the rise, there are still things that brands can do right now to address the sizing issue.
That's a great point. We don't have to wait for AI to solve all our problems.
Right.
There are practical things that brands can start doing today to make their sizing more consistent and user-friendly.
So let's talk about that. What are some concrete things brands can do to start tackling this head on?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, brands need to be more transparent. They need to provide detailed measurements on their websites, more than those basic size charts that can be so misleading.
Right. Give customers the information they need to make good decisions.
Exactly. Tell them exactly how long a dress is, what the waist measurement is, all the details. And don't be afraid to go beyond just the numbers. Use visuals, show images of the garment on different body types so customers can get a better idea of how it's going to look.
That would be so helpful.
It's so much easier to picture how something will fit when you can see it on a real person.
Totally. And also encourage customers to leave reviews that include information about the fit.
That's a great idea. It's all about building a community where people share their experiences and help each other out.
Right. And brands should be asking for feedback on sizing. Ask what's working, what's not, and then use that information to get better. Don't be afraid to experiment with different sizing systems or offer more sizes.
Exactly. It's all about listening to what customers need and always trying to improve.
Okay, and I think another important thing is to make sure the customer service reps really know about sizing and fit.
Oh, that's a good one.
So they can help out customers who have questions.
Yeah, and empower them to handle returns and exchanges with understanding.
Right. Nobody wants to feel like they're being blamed for a sizing issue.
It's all about making the customer feel valued and supported, prioritizing transparency and good communication.
And I think those things become even more important as we move into this world of AI where technology and human interaction are so closely connected.
That's a great point. As we embrace the power of AI, let's not forget about human connection and empathy.
Because at the end of the day, fashion is about more than just clothes. It's about expressing yourself, feeling confident, and feeling good in your own skin.
Absolutely. And those are the values that we need to keep in mind as we move into this exciting new era of AI and fashion.
I agree. This has been a great conversation.
Yeah.
We've really explored the world of sizing and how AI could change everything for shoppers and retailers.
Yeah, it's been fascinating. I hope our listeners have a better understanding now of the challenges and the opportunities that are coming our way.
Me too. Before we move on, I want to go back to Prime AI for a minute.
Yeah.
But their approach is just so innovative.
It really is.
What are your thoughts on the long-term impact of their work?
I think Prime AI is really leading the way in a major shift that's happening in the fashion industry.
Yeah, their use of AI to fix this inconsistent sizing problem is pretty amazing.
It's game-changing, and I think it has the potential to change not just how we shop, but also how clothes are designed and manufactured.
So you're saying that AI could have an impact on the whole fashion ecosystem?
I think so, yeah. Imagine designers having real-time data about how different bodies interact with their designs.
That would be incredible. They could create clothes that are flattering and comfortable for so many more people.
Exactly. And manufacturers could use AI to improve their production, to reduce waste, and become more efficient.
It's like a chain reaction of positive change, all starting with this one use of AI.
And the implications go beyond fashion,
Right.
This kind of data-driven approach could change any industry where fit and personalization are important.
From healthcare to furniture to cars, the possibilities are endless.
It's an exciting time to be witnessing this revolution, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds over the next few years.
I know me too well on that note of optimism and anticipation. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and fashion.
It's been great.
We'll be back soon with more exciting topics to explore. Until then, stay curious.